So I'd like to discuss, I guess, buying your first bike. That's a topic that I don't think I've really seen too much on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's, well, I mean, it's a topic that you see all the time. It's just, it's not something that's usually covered in a vlog. But I'd like to maybe tackle this this subject. Purchasing your first bike is a really broad topic. It's really going to depend on what you want. You can break it down by like type, like if you want to get a sport bike or a cruiser or a fucking Can-Am or some bullshit. But buying your first bike is really personal, actually. And a lot of people, tend to say, hey, yeah, go start on a 250. Go start on a 250. That's a good fucking plan. But I mean, for some people, it really is a good plan. You starting on a 250 could be exactly what you need. I'm at my local bike shop. Something that you should look at when you're getting into the culture is go to your local bike shop, take a seat on some bikes, see what you like. But starting off on the right bike is better than starting off on wrong bike. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I mean, if you start off on a Ninja 250, you're most likely going to want an upgrade very quickly, relatively. So, what I decided to do is I started off on the Super Sport 600s. So I started on the 600 class, and there's classes in between the the 250s. I mean, you have like your 650s, which sounds bigger, but it's really a less powerful bike than the Super Sports. And then you also have like your 500s and stuff like that. So I mean, it really depends on what kind of power you're really wanting to get out of this motorcycle. One of the big factors is going to be finances. Like, are you going to pay cash up front for it, or are you going to finance the bike? I mean, that's a really big factor that you're going to want to look into. Another one is buying new or used. Like, how comfortable are you with purchasing a new bike? I mean, if you don't know what you're going to be getting yourself into, you might not want to get a new bike. You might want to just buy a used bike. My views on buying used is you never know what that bike's been through. You don't know if it's been wrecked. You don't know if it's been dropped. Yeah, you can check and see the history of the bike. If it's like a salvage title, yeah, of course it's been wrecked. But I mean, for most motorcyclists, a lot of wrecks or downs never get reported. They tend to just end up fixing the bike themselves. It's fairly cheap. But I mean, that's something you want to consider if you want to buy a used bike or a new bike. Your skill level. Your skill level should really determine. I can't even say that. I can't say that your skill level should determine what size engine you buy, because I've known a couple people that have bought 1000s or even 1300cc motorcycles for their first bike. I didn't think it was smart, but I mean, they succeed because they have a lot of respect for the motorcycle, and that's really what it boils down to, is having respect for your motorcycle. If you don't respect the bike, it's going to end up hurting you very badly and quickly. So you need to, I'd say like there's a good age range where you start respecting shit that you have like after you like turn 20, give or take 20. After you turn 20, you start respecting the shit that you own. Unless you're, living at home and your parents are still buying everything for you. You start having a better respect for everything that you got. So you tend to not want to do as much dumb shit. Well, that doesn't even count for me. But that's a different subject. But I mean, you care about your stuff. So after like 20 and you're outside of the house, I say, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. If you're under mom and daddy's dime, yeah, you're whatever. Buy whatever the fuck they're gonna pay for. But basically, just have a plan. When you're buying a motorcycle, just have a plan. Know what you can handle yourself. Know what you can afford. Take a look at all the expenses that it's gonna entail. You're gonna have tires that's gonna run out faster than a car is. Oil changes are gonna be more frequent depending on how much you ride. I mean, realize if this is going to be either a daily driver or is it going to be a weekend warrior. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you have a certain mindset when it's just a toy. If it's just a toy, I mean, it's not your primary source or mode of transportation, so you would treat it differently. You don't go through the canyons and carving corners if it's your only transportation. I mean, a lot of people do, but I mean, if this is your first bike and you have no idea what you're doing, it's not really a good idea. In some cases, motorcycles are cheaper, and in some cases, they're a little bit more expensive. As far as the expensive goes, it's more of like the frequency of shit that you need to either repair or maintain. And on the cheapness, you got, well, if you drive like a fucking homo, you have amazing gas mileage. But yeah, it's basically all it boils down to. Have respect for your motorcycle. Have respect for the machine, the power, and you should be fine.